I was coming out of the box, getting everybody jacked up for the Panthers tonight. Solana is setting the table with a little dust in the wind. He is feeling his emotions from the heat.
I want to forget that second half.
How about those 5 minutes, though, that Jimmy was doing Jimmy things?
We just needed 40 more. Damn it. Damn it.
Can't sleep thinking about Cody Zeller -5 in a minute.
Yeah. He's not Jokic.
Everybody ready to do it again tonight?
Let's go.
Got the Panthers tonight. You got anything left in you, Crowder?
I do. Kachuk's playing in special time and all. I'm ready.
Solana, you got anything left in you? Jimmy, you got anything left in you?
I got a little bit in the tank.
How much? Like quarter tank? Three-quarter tank?
I would say a quarter tank.
Quarter tank, huh?
Can we fill it up with Shaq?
Gonna be one of those days. Right. Quarter tank is really a half tank. Listen, we gave it a little run there at the end. Nobody hangs their head today. Not on this show, except for Solana, apparently. Was a miracle postseason, for real.
Yep.
And we owe a ton of thanks to Jimmy Butler for the beginning of the playoffs. You don't get past Milwaukee without him. Mm-hmm. We owe a ton of thanks to Bam Adebayo for the NBA Finals because it's not even a series without Bam.
No.
We owe a ton of thanks to Eric Spoelstra for showing once again why he's elite, aside from a couple decisions last night.
You don't blame that on him.
We owe a ton of thanks to Udonis Haslem for 20 years of grinding for the Heat. And we owe a ton of thanks to Max Strus for hitting the over 7.5. He hit it in the first quarter. I cashed that ticket early and enjoyed the rest of that game. Thank you, Maxie.
We didn't have enough men's. We didn't have enough firepower. You really saw it game 5.
Was there a single team in the East that could have beaten Denver in these finals?
Now, obviously, the West couldn't, and no, Boston, then nobody could deal with what they did. You have a over 7-foot point guard that can shoot as well. That was just ridiculous. And then when he snapped in the second half, when he went crazy, they got jacked up.
You want that guy angry at you?
There's leaders that get going, and guys are like, okay, yeah. He saved it for the perfect time in that second half, man. It's what I was talking about. Well, that game, 4 I went to? It's just, you just saw it. You just saw what happens when those guys get hit.
Solana, was there a single team in the East that would have had a different outcome with Denver?
I was thinking about this last night. They beat the Suns in 6. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant exposed of them in 6, and Game 6 was a laugher. They beat them by like 150 points. Then they beat LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Swept them.
There's no shame in losing to that team. I think all of us, after the first round, were all saying that's the best team in the NBA. That's the best team and should be the favorite to win the NBA Finals as well. But with all that being said, and I'm with you, Hawk, proud of everybody, proud of this run, improbable run, amazing run that we'll always cherish. Tough to see the Heat go out that way. It really was last night. 1-point lead, under 3 to go, and that's a situation you would have loved to have had I told you last night. You'd have a 1-point lead.
The way that game was going, if you told me they were going to have a 1-point lead with a couple minutes to go, in a heartbeat.
And to watch Jimmy in that second half, until that 13-point surge, to watch him just struggle, just clearly not right. Just a tough way for this team to go out. The turnover that he had, then
that was bad.
Down 3, 17 seconds left, still plenty of time on the shot clock as well. Fade away,
terrible.
3-pointer off the backboard.
Terrible.
Just so many mind-numbing mistakes that this team doesn't make in those situations. With all that being said, hell of a run, fellas.
Hell of a run.
Yeah.
Hell of a run.
Yeah. No, you saw those mistakes you're talking about, Solana. That was the desperation of a lesser team playing a more superior team.
That's right.
Jimmy a fadeaway three. Jimmy, you're not even a three-point shooter. Now you're gonna fade away into one. Like that's desperation.
When you don't need to at that moment, and to pick up your dribble in a situation like that where now you're stuck and you have to make an errant pass that's gonna get picked off. Like that was a team that was flailing, and they didn't need to be flailing. They had grind their way back. I don't know. It was a tough final sequence.
But it's going from shooting threes to driving. And when the Denver Nuggets said, hey, when Jokic snapped and said, hey, stop shooting all these damn threes, get to the net, they were capable of doing it the entire second half. What did Jokic have, 19 in the second half? If we said we don't want to shoot anymore, what were we going to do then? Because to your point, Jimmy was trying. They're just too damn big, too long. Jokic is standing down there. We didn't have enough men's. I think I told the story before where it was a defensive lineman and some team broke a long run. And we're like, man, what's up? What happened? Man, it was like 3 guys on me. We went back and watched film, and it was just one guy whooping his ass. It was nobody around but the one guard whooping his ass and threw him on the other side of the field. It was kind of like that. Like, we're trying as hard as we can. These guys are just extremely damn talented. You know what? I say you might be able to combine 2 Eastern Conference playoff teams and still not beat the Denver Nuggets. How about that?
That's how unstoppable, to me, that team seemed. And we talked about it as well, right? It was like kind of a team of destiny. Like, this was their year. Yeah. Jokic probably should have won MVP this year. Mark Jackson was funny at the end of the game. He said, I got my MVP vote right tonight, because we know that he left him off the MVP ballot for the regular season MVP. Just was what it was. That Denver team, when Jokic decides to do what he wants to do, you can't stop him. And when you surround that kind of talent with also Jamal Murray and UM's own Bruce Brown, and I mean, it was they were out-talented him.
Solana about to get mad. I can see it.
Christian Braun.
Look, I'm very happy for Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown, in his post-game interview, gave a shout-out to Coach L and the U. So, listen, you can hate all you want on the Nuggets. You cannot hate on Bruce Brown.
Yeah. But enough with the Bruce Brown stuff, right? Like, that's it. He won. We gave him his shout-out. Enough already. Like, what are we doing with Bruce Brown? All of a sudden, he's a Miami legend.
He was.
He was?
He played for UM.
Yeah, he played for UM.
I don't know. Did you see any FIU Panthers touching the Larry O'Brien trophy last night?
Erroneous. Totally erroneous. Nobody brought in FIU to this conversation.
Didn't we do a show on Lonnie Walker for hitting 3 threes? We can't praise Bruce Brown?
We did. And again, we found this a few months ago. I don't think you know what erroneous means.
He's still using it, though.
Because you're using it improperly.
That also erroneous. Totally erroneous.
In that situation, you're using it correctly.
Try it enough.
Anyway, Panthers tonight. And if they don't get it tonight, listen, I don't think VGK is head and shoulders better than the Panthers, so I have a lot of hope that the Panthers will win tonight and extend the series, bring it back to Sunrise. But if they don't win tonight, our greatest month in South Florida sports peters out on June 13th with 2 wins.
Hawk, I'm with you. I don't think they're head and shoulders better than us either, but our best player doesn't have a head or a shoulder right now. So, I mean, I do have a little bit of bubble guts knowing Matthew Tkachuk is going to try to play tonight on a wheelchair.
All right, fair enough. Well, if he can play, you know that he's going to play because he's built different than you, for sure.
Somebody got to step up.
3 games away from getting a ring, Solana. You can still get that Eastern Conference ring. You get an Eastern Conference ring?
Eastern Conference Finals Championship broadcaster. It's already on my Twitter bio.
Put it on the bio, baby.
One-time Eastern Conference champion broadcaster. You should put that on your Twitter bio.